Hello crafty friends, my name's Alicia, but you can call me Crafty Al, and welcome to my video for the February 2026 SheetLoad Rewind. Welcome, or perhaps welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here today. Each month, I stop by with some of my creative team members for a SheetLoad Rewind. This is when we revisit a past sheetload of cards, sometimes switching it up, sometimes just making a new set. If you're newer to my channel, this might be a sheetload of cards edition that you haven't yet already seen or downloaded, so make sure to stick around and I'm going to tell you how you can get the PDF file for free. Now, speaking of sticking around, make sure to watch to the end of the video, and then you're going to want to check out and see what everybody else has created today. Toward the top of the description box below is a link to this month's Rewind playlist. It is going to be your one-stop shop for all of the participants' videos for this month. I know that everybody would love for you to stop by, see what they created, and leave them some love. As you hop along today, we will each be rewinding back to the February 2024 sheetload of cards. This edition is currently public, but it was supposed to go into the vault at the end of the month. Now, because it is this month's rewind, I will be adding it to the vault a month from today, so you will still have some time to download it if you don't already have it. Now, don't forget, if you are a member, you have ongoing access to this through the monthly SheetLoad archive. And speaking of being a member, did you know that I have some viewers who support me each month and receive fun perks in return? Well, if you would like to find out more about that, click on the join button below this video. It does not automatically sign you up, but it will show the different levels and different perks. Please keep in mind that if you see the glue stick level is more than $1.99 US dollars, that you hop off what is probably an iPhone or an iPad and try out an Android device or laptop or desktop computer. Apple will charge you more per month and it goes straight to them. Being a member, you not only get those perks in return, but you help me to be able to put fewer mid-roll ads in my videos and, most importantly, keep the last 2 years of SheetLoad of cards free for all subscribers. Thank you so much for considering membership. The February 2024 SheetLoad of cards originally showed you how to make 8 A2 cards with just 4 pieces of 12 by 12 pattern paper. Well, did you know, fun fact, that one double-sided 12 by 12 equals the same amount of pattern paper as 4 6 by 6 pieces. So you might have already noticed that is what I'm doing for today's cards. Since I am just using most of the steps from the original process video, which is linked below, I didn't go over much of that. But again, you can get the printable to get all of these dimensions. Now, one thing I am going to do differently and slow it down is for this set, I am making clear cards. If you have been around my channel very long, you know I love to make these, but it has been a little bit since I've done so. So I got out what I call clear card bases. It is actually just clear presentation covers for like binding projects. And I cut these down to 5.5 by 8.5, and then they can easily be folded by hand. And you'll notice that after they are folded with a nice crisp crease, they will stand up on their own. So this is just a fun way to make it look like the elements on your card are kind of floating in the air. If you've never seen me make clear cards before, I will link a video in the description, which is a clear card Q&A. It is from a while ago, but it covers some of the techniques I use and the stock that I like to purchase to make these cards. While I was off camera continuing to fold all of the clear card bases, I also made some smaller white cardstock cards. These were originally 7 inches wide by 4 3/4 inches tall, so when they're folded, they are the same size as the pattern paper piece from the sketch. This is going to allow me to have some space to write my personal message on the inside of the card, and then it will be hidden from the front. With hindsight being 2020, if I would have thought a little bit more ahead, I would have created those inner cards from Toffee cardstock, which is currently what those 3 pieces of pattern paper are adhered to. That way I just would have had one folded card inside instead of a folded card and a piece of cardstock on top of it. I don't know about you, but lately any way I can take weight away from a card for mailing is all the more better to me. Once all of those inner cards were ready, it was time to put them inside of the clear card base. So I made sure to open that back up completely so it would lay flat. And then after I added the adhesive to the back of the small card, so I could easily see the edges of that clear card base, I brought in a piece of just copy paper. It's actually the back side of the SheetLoad printable. And then I centered that on the inside as best as I could. So what you'll be able to do here, because you have the different elements on the inside and front of the card, these help you to create lots of dimension, but not necessarily with much bulk. Let me know down in that comment section below if you have ever made clear cards, and if so, when was the last time, and what kind of product or stock do you use for your bases? Once those were all in place, it was time to get matted pattern paper C put on the card front. And again, this is going to add a little extra dimension since when it stands up, it will be separated from the inner card. I added adhesive to the back of that strip, and then to help me get that left edge nice and aligned, I brought in my mini Scor-Buddy. Now, if you find that your matted strip now hangs off the card front, it is just easy to snip off that extra. Originally, I had intended to whatever the middle pattern paper strip was on the inner card is what the pattern paper going across the middle would be. Well, you'll see here that on these 2 cards, I wasn't paying attention and I did mix those up, but they are just as cute. For the sentiments on today's card, I wanted something that I could send for different occasions or even just as a thinking about you card. So I chose Just a Note from Tailored Expressions Oh Yes You Did stamp set. Now this one is no longer in production, but you can always find one from your own stash that will work. What I did was off camera, I cut 6 copies of the die, the coordinating die, and I kept one of the pieces of cardstock, the negative, for a jig. So now I'm going to stamp Just a Note onto the background or the mouse pad of my MISTI and set up that jig to be centered around the stamped area. This is an easy way to just have to set that up once and get it almost perfectly stamped onto those die cuts. Once the jig is set up and taped in place, I can then put one of the die cut pieces into the opening and then ink up and stamp the image. Now the great thing with this jig and with the MISTI is if it doesn't stamp perfectly the first time, you can ink it back up and try again. For these sentiments, I am using Blue Corn ink from Tailored Expressions because I thought it went very well with one of the blues in the pattern paper. Now if you look back at the original sketch, it called for the sentiment or image to be stamped on a semicircle or a half circle. So that is another way that I am switching up my cards. I'm just going to use the die cut piece instead. Although there is some faux dimension with the pieces being on the inside and front of the card base, I did decide that for my sentiment, I wanted to add a little real dimension. So I placed foam tape on the back of each die cut sentiment, and before I go to place that on the card front, I did also add some liquid glue to give me some wiggle time to get that placed just right. Here is a look at one of the cards almost completely finished. If this is your first time seeing me make clear cards, let me know what you think if you want to try making some of your own down in that comment section below. Now off camera, I finished putting these together and I also used up all of the pattern paper scraps on the inside. So you'll get to see that here in just a minute. But while you watch me do some more work on these, I want to tell you how to download the printable if you don't yet already have it. As always, before you click on the download link, which I'll tell you where that's at here in just a minute, I do ask that you're subscribed to my channel. It's free, it's quick, it's easy. Just click on the button below this video if you haven't already. We do just go on the honor system here. I don't make you send me any proof. You are going to find the link to the February 2024 sheetload of cards for the next month down in my description box right above the related products list. You can download this to your device and then print it like I have, or you can download it to your device and use it on screen. I hope you have enjoyed seeing how I created a set of 8 clear cards using the February 2024 sheetload of cards. If you have, as always, a thumbs up is appreciated. Now don't forget to go see what everyone else has made for the month by using the playlist linked at the top of the description box below, and I'll also have it as an end card here in just a few seconds. Until my next video, I hope you're all having a crafty day. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch all the way to the end of the video. I hope now you'll consider clicking on one of the videos or playlists I have linked above. And if you are interested in any of the products or tools I used in today's video, I do have some links in the description box below.